Hey everyone, today I am going to give my thoughts on the fragrance called Ilm. This is in the Xerjoff K line. The brand used to be called Kemi. It's like a separate little offshoot of Xerjoff. They then merged it back into Xerjoff and now it's the K line. But Kemi Ilm or Xerjoff K line Ilm. We'll get into it first of all with the official note breakdown. So they list that uses real oud from Lao, Gurjan balsam, sandalwood and ambergris. I did actually email Xerjoff customer support and asked about their ambergris, and they did tell me that it is not natural ambergris, it's a synthetic accord. There's also oak moss, atlas cedarwood and amber. I'll spray this one on my hand again just as a refresher, but from the initial kind of top notes, I smell the oud immediately. And interestingly enough, I get something that is a little bit boozy. I actually get some slight, like boozy kind of vibe to this opening. It's almost like a boozy, woody, oudy kind of concoction. There is a slight kind of cheesy goat's hair thing going on. It doesn't smell shitty like some Hindi ouds can smell, kind of, you know, more barnyard in a shitty way. This is more barnyard in the sense of like, you know, horsehair, goat hair, that kind of animalic, with a slight kind of cheesy kind of nuance underneath it. So it's got a little bit of a funk, but I don't find it off-putting personally. I actually quite like it, to be honest. So you get this kind of pungent kind of horsehair, goat hair twang of oud with this slightly kind of boozy thing going on. At least kind of that's how it comes across. Honestly, I would say that kind of animalic, goaty kind of thing tones down within 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're not into that, it doesn't stick around all that long. The oud accord mellows out quite quickly, becomes more smooth, more sweet, more resinous. You get some of that kind of resin coming through from this. And yeah, it becomes more rounded, soft and sweeter. Going into the kind of 1 hour to 2 hour mark, you're going to get more of the kind of ambery resin mixing with the woods. There's not just oud in this, there's also atlas cedar. You're going to get combination of, like I say, woody and amber notes combining together, smooth, rounded, slightly sweet. I think the oak moss in this does give a nuance of kind of a velvety, soft, slightly green kind of texture, again behind the kind of the woods and the amber, and it just lends itself to, in my brain the way I get it is a little bit more of a texture kind of way. Oak moss coming across more kind of almost velvety in texture, is the way I would describe it. Very smooth. There isn't a whole lot of change or development with this on my skin. It does stay primarily like that, up, you know, going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 hours. There's not really any change. You're going to get a combination of woods and amber, and again that subtle kind of velvety, soft green oak moss note. Going into 8 hours, again, there's not really any change. All it's doing is getting more mellow, more soft as time goes on. For me, it does come across one of the more oud-focused fragrances from the whole of the Xerjoff line. It is very much concentrated on being able to perceive the smell of oud, and you're gonna get that through the whole thing, and there's not really a whole lot dancing around it. Like I say, a little bit of amber, you know, a little bit of oak moss. There's really not a whole lot else going on. That kind of woody core is the main notes that you're going to smell in the whole of this fragrance. So you really have to enjoy oudy fragrances, because this will provide you that for a long, long time. At the end of the dry down, again, no change. You're going to get smooth wood, smooth amber, hand in hand together, and it smells generally quite pleasant. I have nothing negative to say about the fragrance. I think I quite like the way that it smells. If you like that kind of goat's hairy twang of oud, I think you might enjoy it. We'll talk about performance with this. I would say the projection and sillage is kind of average to close to the skin. I am testing it from a 2 milliliter sample, so bear that in mind. It's not heavy application from a full bottle. It is spraying from the sample. But in my personal experience, it sits relatively close. It doesn't seem to fill up a room, for example. But I think if you apply it to your clothing with fragrances like this, that actually does help. In terms of longevity, it is quite spectacular in longevity. I would say easily 12 plus hours you'll smell it on yourself. So over 12 hours longevity, spectacular performance. I do feel it's a little bit too... The only criticism I could give it really is that it's maybe almost too focused on oud, to the point of, if you like the smell of this kind of goat's hair twang oud and you want to smell like oud, just go buy an oud tar, like pure oud oil, and just swipe it on your neck and the back of your hand and enjoy oud. You don't need to buy a perfume like this that's not really adding a whole lot to it. I mean, it's subtle. If you want to enjoy oud, buy oud. Just buy a little bit of pure oud and enjoy it that way, I would say, is my only criticism, in terms of the formula being very, like I say, focused on the smell of oud without adding really too many nuances. But you can view that in different ways. I think Russian Adam did a whole series from Marie L'Adore of just literally just pure oud with alcohol as a sprayable format, and that's fine. I mean, if you like that kind of thing, then sure, maybe check it out. I do genuinely think it smells good. I think it's one of the better ones from the K collection, and like I say, nothing negative to say about it. It smells pleasant, it smells nice. If you enjoy oud, I think you probably will enjoy it. I feel like the oud aficionados of like the people that are really into oud might kind of scrutinize this one a little bit more hard, kind of, in a way, and expect a little bit more from oud than what this gives. It is a bit of a more basic kind of oud profile. It's, if you're looking for depth and nuance and you know talking about like wild oud kind of profiles, that kind of vibe, then obviously you're not going to get it from a brand like this. Don't go in with those kind of expectations, but if you kind of generally just want to smell oudy to a reasonable standard, then this will provide that, no problem. It does come across a little bit more Middle Eastern in terms of the way that it smells, and some people around you might find it a little bit animalic, like I say, because of that kind of goat's hair twang that it has. Personally, I've started to warm up to those kind of nuances and I quite enjoy them now, so for me it's quite pleasant. Interestingly, I think this could be worn any time of year, including the summer. There's something about oud where it just works in the heat and it also works in the cold, and it works anywhere in between. And because this is so focused on that oud smell, I think you can wear it whenever you want, weather-wise, season-wise, absolutely no problem. In terms of when to wear it, I think it's really personal opinion, personal taste. I think that it's reasonably versatile. I can see a guy in a black t-shirt and a black leather jacket and jeans at a night out somewhere posh smelling like this and it being completely cool. It might not be something that you would want to wear out on a date with a girlfriend or your wife. However, there are better kind of smells for that kind of occasion. But in general, it's relatively versatile. I would put it in the slightly more casual to casual dressed up category. I'm not sure I'd want to wear it in a suit, for example, but a little bit smarter, and it depends culturally as well, like what we consider smart in the UK or America, for example, it is not the same as smart if you're in Dubai. So that kind of culture, this would fit in perfectly with that style of living and culture. This is that kind of smell, so I like it. So that's it. That's the best way I can describe it. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts. Again, I think it's probably one of the better oud fragrances from the Xerjoff brand as a whole. There's a couple from this brand that I really do not like. I really don't like Alcat. That one is animalic in the wrong kind of way. That is like a whole other thing that goes into the shitty territory to me. That's not pleasant. I find that quite repulsive. There's another one that I forget the name of that I really don't like, and one from the K collection as well, which is just Kemi by Kemi. That one I really struggle with, but this one is not bad at all. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again soon with some more. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Old man Harlem gives me Sunday headache, but that old man Harlem keeps me rolling.